Buddy? Laptop battery's getting a little low. So, anybody go to prom? Do anything fun over weekend? Easter was on the weekend, so we had some people over on Saturday and we had a nice like crab night. I didn't make the crabs. I know how to. I just don't like opening them up and pulling all the guts out. So, I found a place that does all that for me. And they also cook them really good, so I decided to have them do all the cooking. Well, I did other cooking. We had other stuff because like there are people there that don't like seafood, so I made things like pepperoni bread and chicken wings. I had a couple different sauces for them, so it was a nice time. Yeah, nothing from anybody, huh? Okay. So for today's class, what I did was I created another Nearpod. I don't know how it happened before, so I just deleted out that one where it was Act 3 as the title with Act Four's video in there and kind of questions from both. So I deleted that one out there because that was really confusing. So what I did was I made a Nearpod that is just this Act 3 and 4 together, and I made very few activities with it because it's almost 50 minutes between the two. So that's going to take up most of our time this class. But in order to get everybody back on the same page of what goes in what order, we will. So it ends with the old guy walking off from Act 2. And then I just put the activity where Act 3 ends and Act 3, 4 begins. And then another one at the end. So give you all the Nearpod link for that one. Find my mouse. There it is. Okay. So we'll do this Nearpod. And then Wednesday, I'm not here. I've got the day off. So you'll have a beable assignment to work on. And then we will sort out what goes in what act for when I see you on Thursday. And then since it's so close to the test, I don't want to give you a quiz on it and then test it. So we might just do some activities, maybe kind of like a practice test kind of a thing. But your final, which is I want to say it's the Monday, the first week of March or May, March, good gracious, of May, that will be your final. So I want to make sure everybody is clear on this because it's pretty much just on actually all of it is just on Macbeth. So your final is Macbeth Acts 2, 3, 4, and 5. So next week we will finish the play. You'll see how it ends. It's a tragedy, so don't expect it to be happy. Those of you that just came in, put the Nearpod link on. So this is pretty much just watching Acts 3 and 4. And if you have questions along the way, please don't hesitate to let me know in the chat. If you want me to pause and explain something, I certainly can. All right, so I will share my screen so that we can, oh, there we go. Share my screen. Got a new setup with the extended display and getting used to the pattern in which it goes. It's been fun. Okay, so this is the end of 2. Old dude goes away, lights go down. That's the end of Act 2. So then we'll start with Act 3, and then you only have the 2 things that you'll be asked.
Good of bad, and friends of foes.
Thou hast it now, King Cawdor glums, all as the weird women promised. And I fear thou playedst most foully for it. Yet it was said it should not stand in thy posterity, but that myself should be the root and father of many kings. If there come truth from them, as upon thee, Macbeth, their speeches shine. Why, by the verities in thee made good, may they not be my oracles as well, and set me up in hope? But hush no more.
Here's our chief guest.
If he had been forgotten, it had been as a gap in our great feast, and all thing unbecoming.
Tonight we hold a solemn supper, sir, and I'll request your presence.
Let your highness command upon me, to the which my duties are with a most indissoluble tie, forever knit.
Ride you this afternoon.
Aye, my good lord.
We had else desired your good advice, which still hath been both grave and prosperous in this day's council. But we'll take tomorrow. As far you ride.
As far, my lord, as will fill up the time twixt this and supper. Go not my horse the better, I must become a borrower of the night for a dark hour, twain.
Fail not our feast.
My lord, I will not.
We here, our bloody cousins, are bestowed in England and in Ireland, not confessing their cruel parricide, filling their ears with strange invention. But of that
So he's saying the cousins, those are the princes, and one is in England, one is in Ireland, and so he's saying that they're making some stuff up. We all know who killed Duncan, so he is, Macbeth is trying to put the blame on them.
that tomorrow, when we shall have cause of state craving us jointly. Hie you to horse. Adieu to your return at night. Goes Fleance with you.
Aye, my good lord. Our time to call upon.
I wish your horses swift and sure of foot, and so I do commend you to their backs. Farewell. Let every man be master of his time till 7 at night. To make society the sweeter welcome, we will keep ourselves till supper time alone. Well then, God be with you. Sirrah, a word with you. Attend those men our pleasure.
They are, my lord, without the palace
Bring
gate.
them before us.
Yes.
To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus, our fears in Banquo stick deep. And in that royalty of nature reigns that which would be feared. 'Tis much he dares, and to that dauntless temper of his mind he hath a wisdom that doth guide his valor to act in safety. There is none but he whose being I do fear. He chid the sisters when first they put the name of king upon me and bade them speak to him. Then, prophet-like, they hailed him father to a line of kings. Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown and put a barren scepter in my grip, thence to be wrenched with an unlineal hand, no son of mine succeeding. If it be so, for Banquo's issue have I filed my mind. For them the gracious Duncan have I murdered, put rancors in the vessel of my peace, only for them, and mine eternal jewel given to the common enemy of man to make them kings. The seed of Banquo kings. Who's there? Now go to the door and stay there till we call. Was it not yesterday we spoke together?
It was, so please your
Well
highness.
then, now have you considered of my speeches? Know that it was he in times past who held you so under fortune which you thought had been our innocent self. This I made good to you in our last conference.
You made it known to us.
I did so, and went further, which is now our point of second meeting. Do you find your patience so predominant in your nature that you can let this go?
We are men, my liege.
Aye, in the catalog ye go for men, as hounds, greyhounds, mongrels, spaniels, curs, shows, water rugs, and demi-wolves are kept, all by the name of dogs. The valued file distinguishes the swift, the slow, the subtle, the housekeeper, the hunter, everyone according to the gift which bounteous nature hath in him closed, and so of men. Now, if you have a station in the file, not in the worst rank of manhood, say it, and I will put that business in your bosoms whose execution takes your enemy off. Both of you know Banquo was your enemy.
Yes, my lord.
So is he mine. And in such bloody distance that every minute of his being thrusts against my nearest of life. And though I could, with barefaced power, sweep him from my sight and bid my will avouch it, yet I must not. For certain friends that are both his and mine, whose loves I may not drop, but wail his fall, who I myself struck down. And thus it is that I to your assistance do make love, masking the business from the common eye, for sundry weighty reasons.
We shall, my lord, perform what you command us.
Though our
Your
lives-
spirits shine through you. Within this hour at most, I will advise you where to plant yourselves, acquaint you with the perfect spy of the time. The moment on for must be done tonight. And something from the palace. Always thought that I require a clearness. And with him, to leave no rubs nor botches in the work. Fleon's his son that keeps him company, whose absence is no less material to me than is his father's, must embrace the fate of that dark hour. Resolve yourselves apart. I'll come to you anon.
We are resolved.
My lord.
Abide within. I'll call upon you straight. It is concluded. Banquo, thy soul's flight, if it find heaven, must find it out tonight.
Is Banquo gone from court?
Aye, madam, but returns again tonight.
Say to the king I would attend his leisure for a few words.
Madam, I will.
Naught's had. All's spent, wherein our desire is got without content. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroy than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy. How now, my lord? Why do you keep alone of sorriest fancies your companions making, using those thoughts that should have died with them they think on? Things without all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done.
We have scotched the snake, not killed it. She'll close and be herself, whilst our poor Malice remains in danger of her former tooth. But let the frame of things disjoint, both the world suffer, ere we will eat our meal in fear and sleep in the affliction of these terrible dreams that shake us nightly. Better be with the dead, whom we, to gain our peace, have sent to peace, than on the torture of the mind to lie in restless ecstasy. Duncan is in his grave. After life's fitful fever, he sleeps well. Treason has done his worst. Nor steel, nor poison, malice, domestic, foreign levy, nothing can touch him further.
Come on, gentle my lord. Sleek o'er your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial among your guests tonight.
So shall I love, and so I pray be you, and make our faces vizards to our hearts, disguising what we are.
You must leave this.
Ah, full of scorpions is my wine, dear wife. Thou knowest that Banquo and his fleance lives.
But in them nature's copies not etern.
There's comfort yet. They are assailable. Then be thou jocund. Ere the bat hath flown his cloistered flight, ere to black Hecate summons the shard-born beetle with his drowsy hums hath rung night's yawning peal, there shall be done a deed of dreadful note.
What's to be done?
Be innocent of the knowledge, dearest Chuck, till thou applaud the deed.
It's funny he calls her dearest Chuck. What kind of nickname is that? So to translate this conversation, darling, be happy, even though, we just had 3 people killed. He's like, well, it's worse than that. And she's like, it is? And he goes, yeah, in addition to those 3 people we've already had murdered, one of them being our king that we're supposed to be loyal to, I've just sent murderers for my best friend and his son. And by the way, his son is innocent because the reason why his best friend has to get killed is because he was witness to what the witches said. And because what the witches said to Macbeth put them on this path to which they are on, where little are going to survive it, he has to have them taken out. So He's like, everybody go do what you want to do. Come back here at 7:30 where we're going to have a party for Banquo. That's going to ensure that Banquo and Valance, Banquo's son, are going to come back at a certain time. So that's how he's like, okay, murderers, set yourselves up right here because I know they're going to be coming at that time. So why wouldn't he be happy and jovial for the party?
Come, sealing night, scarf up the tender eye of pitiful day, and with thy bloody and invisible hand cancel and tear to pieces that great bond which keeps me pale. Light thickens, and the crow makes wing to the rooky wood. Good things of day begin to droop and drowse, while night's black agents to their praise do rouse. Thou marvelest at my words, but hold thee still. Things bad begun make strong themselves by ill. So, prithee, go with me.
The west yet glimmers with some streaks of day. Now spurs the lated traveler apace to gain the timely inn. The near approach is the subject of our watch. Hark! I hear horses!
Give us a light there, ho!
Well, then 'tis he. The rest that are within the note of expectation already are in the court.
His horses go about.
Almost a mile. But he does usually, so all men do from hence to the palace gate make it their walk. A light! A light!
'Tis he. Stand to it.
It'll be rain tonight.
Let it come down.
Victory! Fly, good flares, fly!
But who did strike out the light?
Oh, what's not the way? There's but one down. The sun has fled. We've lost the best half of our affair.
Well, that's a way. Say how much is done.
You know your own degrees. Sit down. At first and last, the hearty welcome.
Thanks, Your Majesty.
Ourself will play the humble host and mingle with society. Our hostess keeps her state, but in best time we will require her welcome.
Pronounce it for me, sir, to all our friends. For my heart speaks they are welcome.
See that?
So now they're putting on a good face for everybody, knowing, so both Macbeth and Lady Macbeth know what's happening with Banquo and his son, and what happened with Duncan, the princes who have fled for their lives, the guards that they have killed and blamed for Duncan's murder. And so they're all going to be happy and have this nice little dinner party. What could go wrong, right?
They encounter thee with their hearts' thanks. Both sides are even here, I'll sit in the midst. Be large in mirth. Anon, we'll drink a measure the table round. There's blood on thy face.
'Tis Banquo's then.
'Tis better thee without than he within. Is he dispatched?
The Lord, his throat is cut. That much I did for him.
Thou art the best of the cutthroats, yet he's good that did the like for Fleance.
He just complimented him on how well he cuts people's throats. Maybe you should put that on business cards so that when he advertises for future murder jobs, be like, hey, I am very good at my job. So here you go. Tell a friend, buy one, get one free. All kinds of marketing opportunities for this guy.
If thou didst it, thou art the nonpareil.
Most royal, sir. Fleance escaped.
Then comes my fit again. I had us been perfect, whole as the marble, founded as the rock is broad, and general as the casing air. But now, in my cabin, cribbed, confined, bound into saucy doubts and fears. But Banquo's safe.
Aye, my good lord, safe in a ditch he bides, with 20 trenchant gashes on his head, the least a death to nature.
Thanks for that. There the grown serpent lies, the worm that's fled. Hath nature in him that with time venom will breed. No teeth for the present. Get thee gone, tomorrow we hear ourselves again.
My noble lord, you do not give the cheer.
Sweet remembrance, sir. Now good digestion, weight on appetite, and health on both.
May it please your highness, sit.
Here had we now our country's honor roofed, with the graced person of our Banquo present, who may I rather challenge for unkindness than pity for mischance?
His absence, sir, lays blame upon his promise. Please, your highness, to grace us with your royal presence.
The table's full.
Here's a place reserved, sir.
Where?
Here, my lord. What is it, moves your highness?
Which of you have done this?
What, my lord?
Never say I did it! Thou canst not shake thy gory locks at me!
Rise, his highness is not well.
Sit, worthy friends. My lord is often thus, and hath been from his youth. Pray you keep seat. If you much note him, you shall offend him and extend his passion. Feed, and regard him not. Are you a man?
And a bold one that dare look on that which might appall the devil!
Proper stuff. This is the very painting of your fear. This is the air-drawn dagger which you said led you to Duncan. Oh, these flaws and starts, impostors to true fear, would well become a woman's story at a winter's fire, authorized by her grandam. Shame itself. Why do you make such faces? When all's done, you look but on a stool.
Prithee, see there! Look, lo, behold, how say you? Why? If thou canst nod, speak too. If charnel houses and our graves must send those that we bury back, our monument shall be the malls of kites! Ah!
What? Quite unmanned in folly?
If I stand here, I saw him!
Fie! For shame!
Blood hath been shed ere now. In the olden time, ere human statute purged the gentle wheel, aye, and since too, murders have been performed too terrible for the ear. The time has been that when the brains were out, the man would die, and there an end. But now they rise again with 20 mortal murders on their crowns and push us from our stools. This is more strange than such a murder is.
Why, worthy lord, your noble friends do lack you.
I do forget. Do not muse at me, my most worthy friend. I have a strange infirmity, which is nothing to those that know me. Come, love and health to all. Then I'll sit down. Give me some wine. Phil.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to ruin the party. Just sometimes I do that. You just don't know me that well. That's why you've never seen me do this. I don't know. I think I would have gone with like I'm dabbling in the arts and drama, and I have just performed for you my one-man show or something like that. And then I would be like, you guys should be applauding me because I just did a really good performance. We have all kinds of gaslighting going on here. Why not add that?
Fill full. I drink to the general joy of a whole table.
Good, let's add some alcohol to this. We don't have enough crazy.
And to our dear friend Banquo, whom we miss. Would he were here. To all and him we thirst, and all to all.
Our duties and the pledge.
Avaunt! And quit my sight! Let the earth hide thee! Thy bones are marrowless, thy blood is cold, there is no speculation in those eyes which thou dost glare with.
Think of this, good peers, but as a thing of custom. 'Tis no other, only it spoils the pleasure of the time.
What man dare I dare? Approach thou like the rugged Russian bear, the armed rhinoceros of the Hyrcan tiger. Take any shape but that, and my firm nerves shall never tremble. Hence, horrible shadow! Unreal mockery, hence!
So a lot of times in pieces of fiction, there comes stuff like this where we have to realize if it is real or it is imagined. So since Macbeth is the only one that's seeing this, we can surmise that this is an imagined ghost. Other pieces of work, there's, say Hamlet, where the ghost of his dead father comes to see him but gives him a message. Now, if Hamlet doesn't believe the father's ghost, that would really mess with the plot moving forward. In this case, we're looking at the ghost is not, it doesn't have to be real. As far as, is it really a ghost? Is it really not? This is more of the embodiment and the visualization of Macbeth coming to his anxieties, his fears, all the stuff. He is exactly where he wanted to be, but the path he had to take to get there is what is causing him to have some problems at this point. So he's facing a ghost, but the ghost may not be there in like just reality.
Why, so being gone, I am a man again? Pray you sit still!
You have displaced the mirth, broke the good meeting with most admired disorder.
Can such things be, and overcome us like a summer's cloud without our special wonder?
So he's still like, hey, did the ghost go away? And her big response to him is, you're a party pooper.
You make me strange, even to the disposition that I owe. And now I think you can behold such sights, and keep the natural ruby of your cheeks when mine is blanched with fear.
What sights, my lord?
I pray you, speak not! He grows worse and worse! Question enrages him! At once, good night! Stand not upon the order of your going, but go at once! Go!
Good night, and better health attend his majesty.
A kind good night to all.
It will have blood, they say. Blood will have blood. Stones have been known to move and trees to speak. Augurs and understood relations have by maggot pies and chuffs and rooks brought forth the secretest man of blood. What is the night?
Almost at odds with morning, which is which?
How sayest thou that Macduff denies his person at our great bidding?
Did you send to him, sir?
I hear it by the way, but I will send. There's not a one of them, but in his house I keep a servant paid. I will tomorrow, and betimes I will to the weird sisters. More shall they speak. For now I am bent to know by the worst means the worst. For mine own good all causes shall give way. I am in blood, stepped in so far, that should I wade no more, returning were as tedious as go o'er. Strange things I have in head, which will to hand, which must be acted ere they may be scanned.
You lack the season of all natures. Sleep.
Come, will to sleep. My strange and self-abuse is the initiate fear that wants hard use. We are yet but young, indeed.
Okay, the laughing is a little creep. Okay, right, the laughing is very creepy. It's more of a delirious, like, yeah. So, could you imagine, if they stay in power for any distance of time, what's going to happen when they invite people for their next party after what unfolded here? So, yeah, not playing it cool at all.
My former speeches have but hit your thoughts, which can interpret further.
Only I say things have been strangely born. The gracious Duncan was pitied of Macbeth merry. He was dead. And the right valiant Banquo walked too late, whom you may say, if 't please you, Fleance killed, for Fleance fled. Oh, man.
Got a recurring theme here. So we have Duncan murdered, and since the princes fled, automatically everybody thinks they are the guilty parties. They might not think that they did the actual murdering, but they are responsible for it. Now we have Banquo died and his son has fled. Therefore, he must be the reason why Banquo is dead. Okay, so we've had 2 occurrences of this and not back to back, so that means it's a theme.
Man must not walk too late. And who cannot want the thought how monstrous it was for Malcolm and for Donalbain to kill their gracious father? Damned fact. Oh, how it did grieve Macbeth. Did he not straight in pious rage the 2 delinquents tear that were the very slaves of drink and thralls of sleep? Was not that nobly done? Aye, and wisely too, for 'twould have angered any heart alive to hear the men deny it. So that I say, he hath borne all things well. And I do think, had he Duncan's sons under his key, and as it please heaven he shall not, they should know what 'twere to kill a father. And so should Fleance. But peace, for from broad words, and 'cause he failed his presence at the tyrant's feast, I hear Macduff lives in disgrace. Sir, can you tell where he bestows himself?
The son of Duncan, Malcolm, from whom this tyrant holds the due of birth, lives in the English court, and is received of the most pious Edward with such grace that the malevolence of fortune nothing holds from him his high respect. Thither Macduff is gone to pray the holy king upon his aid, to wake Northumberland and warlike seaward, that with the help of these and with God above we may ratify the works and give meat to our tables, sleep to our nights, free from our feasts and banquets' bloody knives. Do faithful homage and receive free honors, all which we pine for now. This report hath so exasperate the king that he prepares for some attempt of war.
Well, sent he to Macduff?
He did, and with an absolute, "Sir, not I," turns him the cloudy messengers back as who should say, "You'll rue the day that clogs me with this answer."
Don't often get to say rue the day. I would like to incorporate it more, but it's got a very negative tone. He's going to wish he was not born on the day that that happens, which that's what you mean, rue the day. So we've got some people with some very extreme motives. We've got war brewing as a possibility of what has unfolded with the king being murdered, with the heirs to his throne going to England and Ireland. Now we have Banquo getting taken out and his son fled. So this is turning into be anarchy. They're nice, quiet lords in charge, people serve them kind of setting that they've enjoyed up until this point is getting shaken up. Now, beginning of the play, they are just finishing a battle. So I'm not sure how like easy things were, but it sounds like the battle was not on their shores. They had the battle outside. Now it seems that they're battling within, but they don't know who the enemy is. People are ending up dead, important people, and people that should have protection and care and that kind of thing. These people are ending up dead. So everyone's starting to get freaked out.
And that might well advise him to a caution, to hold what distance his wisdom can provide. Oh, some holy angel, fly to the court of England and unfold this message ere he comes, that a swift blessing may soon return to this our suffering country under hand accursed.
I'll send my prayers with him.
Okay, so which characters murdered in Act 3? So you can pick from Duncan, Malcolm, Banquo, or Valance. Valise? I don't know. Valance? Depends on where your accent lies. Another midge on that one, then we'll move on. Correct answer is Banquo. Duncan was killed earlier on. Oh, by the way, we're going into Act 4 now. So that was Act 3, now this is Act 4.
Thrice the brinded cat had mew, thrice and once the hedge pig whined.
Harpier cries, "'Tis time, 'tis time."
Round about the cauldron go, in the poison entrails throw, told that under cold stone, day and night hath 31 sweltered venom, sleeping got, boil thou first in the charmed pot. Double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble, fillet of a fenny snake, in the cauldron boil and bake, eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog, adder's fork and blind worm's sting, lizard's leg and owlet's wing, for a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell broth boil and bubble. Double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, maw and gulf of the raven salt sea shark, root of hemlock, digged in the dark, liver of blaspheming Jew, gall of goat and slips of yew silvered in the moon's eclipse, nose of Turk, and Tartar's lips, finger of birth-strangled babe, dit delivered by a drab, make the gruel thick and slab. Add thereto a tiger's chaudron for the ingredients of our cauldron. Double, double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Cool it with a baboon's blood. Then the charm is firm and good. By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. Open lock.
Oh, someone wicked this way comes, not something wicked this way comes. So they prove in that instance that they really do know what they're talking about because they know that Macbeth is coming before he knocks. So that kind of gives credence to some of the earlier stuff that they did where they made their predictions, which has also come true. Now, this is where philosophers mostly look into if something is poised to happen, does it happen because people make it happen or not? So in this case, had this been the prediction, but let's say Macbeth didn't hear it. Let's say that Banquo was with somebody else when the witches were like, oh, by the way, Macbeth's going to be king someday, and that never got back to Macbeth. Would things have unfolded the way that they did? Macbeth found out that he was destined to be king, and he then took matters into his own hands, even though that wasn't his original plan.
Knocks whoever knocks.
How now, you secret black and midnight hags, what is't you do?
A deed without a name.
I conjure you by that which you profess, howe'er you come to know it, answer me.
Speed. Demand.
Will answer.
Say if thou rather hear it from our mouth or from our masters.
Call him, let me see him.
Pour in sow's blood that had eaten her 9 pharaohs. Grease that sweating from the murder's gibbet, throw into the flame. Come high or low, thyself and office deftly show.
Tell me, thou unknown power.
He shall not be commanded. Hear his speech, but say thou not.
Okay, so we want to know why he starts getting anxious and freaking out. He was just warned to beware of Macduff. Okay. This is probably the part that makes what happens a little bit later on to Macduff's family happen.
Dismiss me. Enough.
Whate'er thou art, for thy good caution, thanks. Thou hast harped my fear aright. But one word more.
He shall not be commanded. Here's another, more potent than the first.
Had I 3 ears, I'd hear thee.
Be bloody, bold, and resolute. Laugh to scorn the power of man, for none of woman-born shall harm Macbeth.
Then live, Macduff, what need I fear of thee? But yet I'll make assurance double sure, and take a bond of fate. Thou shalt not live, that I may tell pale-hearted fear it lies, and sleep in spite of thunder.
Okay, so he's told to beware of Macduff, but he cannot be taken down by any man born of woman. So then he's like, what do I care? All men are born of woman. So in his mind, he's got this thing where no mortal man can take him down. So that's emboldening him in one area because, like, it's like someone saying, nobody can give you a speeding ticket. So it doesn't matter how fast you drive down the highway, you're never going to get a ticket. Okay. But that is also not ruled out other things. It is not just people who kill other people. There are many things that happen, natural things, animals, storms, those kinds of things. These things can all kill people too. So going back to the car analogy, yeah, you might not be able to get a speeding ticket, but that might not prevent you from getting into a very dangerous car crash, because the higher speed of the car, the deadlier the crash is, not just for the person speeding, but for a person that's hit if it's a more than one car accident. So he has kind of like this car wreck happening in front of him, and he's not sure where it's coming from. So while he's safe in one area, it kind of opened up every other area to not be safe.
What is this that rises like the issue of a king and wears upon his baby brow the round and top of sovereignty?
Proud, and take no care who chafes, who frets, or where conspirers are. Macbeth shall never vanquish peace until great Burnham Wood to high Dunsinane Hill shall come against him.
That will never be! Who can impress the forest, bid the tree unfix his earthbound root? Sweet bodements good, rebellion's head, rise never till the wood of Burnham rise. And our high place Macbeth shall live the lease of nature, pay his breath to time and mortal custom. Yet my heart throbs to know one thing. Tell me, if your art can tell so much, shall Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied. Deny me this, and an eternal curse fall on you. What noise is this? Why sinks the cauldron?
Show his eyes and grieve his heart. Come like shadows, so depart.
Thou art too like the spirit of Banquo down, thy crown to sear mine eyeballs, and thy hair, thou other gold-bound brow, is like the first. A third is like the former. Filthy hags, why do you show me this? A fourth? Starred eyes! What, will the line stretch out to the crack of doom? Another yet? A seventh? I'll see no more! And yet the eighth appears, who bears a glass that shows me many more. In some I see that twofold balls and treble scepters carry. Horrible sight! And now I see 'tis true. For the blood-boltered Banquo smiles upon me and points at them for his. What? Is this so?
Aye, sir, it is so. But why stands Macbeth thus amazedly? Come, sisters, cheer we his sprites and show the best of our delights. I'll charm the air to make a sound while you perform antics round, that this great king may kindly say, our duties did his welcome pay.
Where are they? Gone. Let this pernicious hour stand I accursed in the calendar. Come in without there.
What's your grace's will?
Saw you the weird sisters.
No, my lord.
Came they not by you?
No, indeed, my lord.
Infected be the air whereon they ride, and damned all those that trust them. I did hear the galloping of horse who was came by.
'Tis 2 or 3, my lord, that bring you word Macduff has fled to England.
Fled to England?
Aye, my good lord.
Time, thou anticipatest my dread exploits. The flighty purpose never is o'ertook unless the deed go with it. From this moment, the very firstlings of my heart shall be the firstlings of my hand. And even now to crown my thoughts with acts, be it thought and done. The castle of Macduff I will surprise, seize upon Fife, give to the edge of the sword his wife, his babes, and all unfortunate souls that trace him in his line. No boasting like a fool. This deed I'll do before this purpose cool. But no more sights. Where are these gentlemen? Come, bring me where they are.
Now he's like, oh, okay, fine. Macduff's gonna go to England. Then I'm gonna send people to his place to kill his wife, kill all his kids, and unfortunately everybody else there. So it doesn't matter if the servant just started the day before and they haven't even met the Lord and Lady, they're going down too. So this is kind of how things were done in biblical times also, of you know, people that were associated with a household, whether they were a relative or not, guilty by association kind of a thing. So if the mostly head of the household, sometimes it's other ones, the head of the household does something that shouldn't be done, everybody pays the consequence. So this is kind of going on with that kind of a sentencing.
To make him fly the land.
You must have patience, madam.
He had none. His flight was madness. When our actions do not, our fears do make us traitors.
You know not whether it was his wisdom or his fear.
Wisdom. To leave his wife. To leave his babes. To leave his mansion and his titles in a place from whence himself does fly. He loves us not. He wants the natural touch. For the poor wren, the most diminutive of birds, will fight her young ones in the nest against the owl. All is the fear and nothing is the love. As little as the wisdom where the flight so runs against all reason.
My dearest cousin, I pray you school yourself. But for your husband, he is noble, wise, judicious, and best knows the fits of the season. Now I dare not speak much further, but cruel are the times when we are traitors and do not know ourselves. I take my leave of you. It shall not be long, but I'll be here again. Things at the worst must cease, or else climb upward to what they were before. My pretty cousin, blessing upon you.
Fathered he is, and yet he's fatherless.
I am so much a fool should I stay longer. It would be my disgrace and your discomfort. I take my leave at once.
It sounds like Macduff did not say goodbye to his family. He had that guy say goodbye for him, which now Lady Macduff feels that her husband is not being very loving. He's not there for them when things are so tumultuous, that, you know, he couldn't even say goodbye. Yeah, and they don't really get to make up either.
Sierra, your father's dead. What will you do now? How will you live?
As birds do, Mother.
What, with worms and flies?
With what I get, I mean. And so do they.
Poor bird. Thou wouldst never fear the net nor lime, the pitfall nor the gin.
Why should I, Mother? Poor birds. They are not sent for. My father is not dead, for all you're saying.
Yes, he is dead. Now how wilt thou do for a father?
Nay, how you do for a husband.
Why, I can buy me 20 at any market.
Then you buy him to sell again.
Thou talkst with all thy wit, and yet if faith with wit enough for thee.
Was my father a traitor, Mother?
Aye, that he was.
What is a traitor?
Why, one that swears and lies.
And be all traitors that do so?
Everyone that does so is a traitor and must be hanged.
And must they all be hanged that swear and lie?
Everyone.
Who must hang them?
Why, the honest men. Now God help thee, poor monkey, but how wilt thou do for a father?
If he were dead, you'ld weep for him. If he would not, it were a good sign that I should quickly have a new father.
Poor prattler, how thou talkst.
Bless you, fair dame. I am not to you known, though in your state of honor I'm perfect. I doubt some danger does approach you nearly. If you will take a homely man's advice, be not found here. Hence! Hence with your little ones!
But alas, I remember now I'm in this earthly world, where to do harm often laudable, to do good sometime accounted dangerous folly. Why then, alas, do I put up that womanly defense to say I have done no harm? What are these spaces?
Where's your husband?
I hope in no place so unsanctified where thou mayst find him.
He's a traitor!
Thou liest, thou shag-haired villain!
What? You egg!
No!
Young fry of treachery!
No! He has killed me, Mother! Run away.
No! Please, no! No! Please, no! No! No!
Let us seek out some desolate shade, and there weep our sad bosoms empty.
Let us rather hold fast the mortal sword, and like good men, bestride our downfall and birthdom. Each new morn, new widows howl, new orphans cry, new sorrows strike heaven on the face, that it resounds as if it felt with Scotland, and yelled out like syllable of dolor.
What I believe, I'll wail. What no believe, and what I can redress, as I shall find the time to, friend, I will. What you have spoke, it may be so, perchance. This tyrant, whose sole name blisters our tongues, was once thought honest. You have loved him well. He hath not touched you yet. I am young, and something you may deserve of him through me, and wisdom to offer up a weak, poor, innocent lamb to appease an angry God.
I am not.
This is Malcolm, the eldest son of Duncan, who fled to England. And then I think that's Macduff. He is trying to get Malcolm to come back and take over and make it so that Macbeth isn't reigning.
Not treacherous.
But Macbeth is. A good and virtuous nature may recoil in an imperial charge. Oh, but I shall crave your pardon. What you are, my thoughts cannot transpose. Angels are bright still, though the brightest fell. Though all things foul should wear the brows of grace, yet grace must still look so.
I have lost my hopes.
Oh, perchance even there where I did find my doubts. Why in that rawness left you wife and child? Those precious motives, those strong knots of love, without leave-taking. You may be rightly just whatever I shall think.
Bleed, poor country. Great tyranny, lay thou thy basest shore. For goodness dare not check thee. Fare thee well, Lord. I would not be the villain that thou thinkst. For the whole space that's in the tyrant's grasp, and the rich east to boot.
Oh, be not offended. I speak not as an absolute fear of you. I think our country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps, it bleeds, and each new day a gash is added to her wounds. I think withal there would be hands uplifted in my right. And here, from gracious England, have I offer of goodly thousands. But for all this, when I shall tread upon the tyrant's head, or wear it on my sword, yet my poor country shall have more vices than it had before, more suffer, and more sundry ways than ever by him that shall succeed.
What should he be?
It is myself, I mean, in whom I know all the particulars of vice so grafted that when they shall be opened, black Macbeth will seem as pure as snow, and the poor state esteem him as a lamb, being compared with my confineless harms.
Not in the legions of horrid hell can come a devil more damned in evils to top Macbeth.
Oh, I grant him bloody. Luxurious, avaricious, false, deceitful, sudden, malicious, smacking of every sin that has a name, but better Macbeth than such an one as I to reign, the king becoming graces, as justice, verity, temperance, patience, stableness, bounty, perseverance, mercy, lowliness, devotion, patience, courage, fortitude. I have no relish of them, but abound in the division of each several crime, acting it many ways. Nay, had I power, I should pour the sweet milk of Concord into hell, uproar the universal peace, confound all unity on earth.
Oh, Scotland, Scotland.
If such an one be fit to govern, speak. I am as I have spoken.
Fit to govern? No, not to live. Oh, nation miserable, with an untitled tyrant bloody sceptred, when shalt thou see thy wholesome days again? Since that the truest issue of thy throne by his own interdiction stands accursed, and does blaspheme his breed. Thy royal father was a most sainted king. The queen that bore thee, oftener upon her knees than on her feet, died every day she lived. Fare thee well. These evils thou repeatest upon thyself have banished me from Scotland. Oh, my breast, thy hope ends here.
Macduff, this noble passion, child of integrity, hath from my soul wiped the black scruples, reconciled my thoughts to thy good truth and honor. Devilish Macbeth hath by many of these trains sought to win me into his power, and modest wisdom plucks me from overcredulous haste. But God above deal between thee and me. For even now I put myself to thy direction, and unspeak mine own detraction. Here abjure the taints and blames I laid upon myself, for strangers to my nature. My first false speaking was this upon myself: what I am truly is thine and my poor country's to command. Whither indeed, before thy here approach, old seaward with 10,000 warlike men already at a point was setting forth. Now wheel together, and our chance of goodness be like our warranted quarrel. Why are you silent?
Such welcome and unwelcome things at once, 'tis hard to reconcile. See, who comes here?
It is my kinsman, yet I know him not.
My ever-gentle cousin. Welcome hither.
Good God, betimes remove the means that make us strangers.
Sir, amen.
Stand Scotland where it did.
Alas, poor country, almost afraid to know itself. Cannot be called our mother, but our grave, where nothing but who knows nothing is there seen to smile, where sighs and groans and shrieks that rend the air are made, not marked. Where violent sorrow seems a modern ecstasy, are the dead men's knell is there scarce asked for who. And good men's lives expire before the flowers in their caps, dying or ere they sicken.
Oh, relation, too nice, yet too true.
What's the newest grief?
Out of an hour's age does hiss the speaker, each minute teems a new one.
How does my wife?
Why, well?
And all my children?
Well, too.
The tyrant has not battered at their peace.
No, they were well at peace when I did leave them.
Be not ungenerous of speech. How goest?
When I came hither to transport the tidings which I have so heavily borne, There ran a rumor of many worthy fellows that were out, the which was to my knowledge witnessed the rather. For that I saw the tyrant's power afoot. Now is the time of help. Your eye in Scotland would create us soldiers that make our women fight to doff their dire distresses.
Be it their comfort, we are coming thither. Gracious England hath lent us 10,000 men, and old Seward, an older and better soldier than none that Christendom gives out.
Would I could answer this comfort with the like. But I have words that would be howled out in the desert air where hearing should not latch them.
What concern they? The general cause? Or is it a fee grief due to some single breast?
No mind that's honest, but in it shares some part of the woe, though the main part pertains to you alone.
If it be mine, keep it not from me. Quickly let me have it.
Let not your ears despise my tongue forever, but shall possess them with the heaviest sound that e'er they heard.
Guess at it.
Your castle is surprised, your wife and children savagely slaughtered. To relate the manner were on the quarry of these murdered deer, to add the death of you.
Merciful heavens. What man, ne'er pull your hat upon your brow, give sorrow words. The grief that does not speak whispers the o'erfraught heart and bids it break.
My children too?
Wife, children, servants, all that could be found.
I must be from thence. My wife killed too?
I have said.
Be comforted. Let's make us medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
He has no children. All my pretty ones? Did you say all? Oh, hellkite! All? What? All my pretty chickens and their dam at one fell swoop?
Dispute it like a man.
I shall do so. But I must also feel it as a man. I cannot but remember such things were, that were most precious to me. Did heaven look on and would not take their part? Sinful Macduff, they were all struck for thee. Not that I am, not for their own demerits, but for mine, fell slaughter on their souls. Heaven rest them now.
Be this the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger, blunt not the heart, enrage it.
Oh, I could play the woman with mine eyes, and braggart with my tongue. But gentle heaven, cut short all intermission. Front to front, bring thou this fiend of Scotland and myself. Within my sword sling, set him!
Okay, so you click the people that have been killed in this act. And that is where we're going to end for today, because we've got less than a minute until class is done. So, a lot of murder going on in these two. Tragedy, yes. Okay, so this should help everybody have everything in the correct order of what happened. Then, so Wednesday I will not be here.